speaking of sex,
Yes.
we were talking earlier about millennials and the younger generation and, all this other stuff.
Sure.
Well, we can only compare what we know as when we were young adults and, what our thought processes were about anywhere from getting a license to drive your car to getting, your first girlfriend, to having sex for the first time, to going out and, sneaking a drink or whatever it is that kids used to be interested in doing.
Right.
The rite of passage, as it were.
All right, stop for 1 second. Phil Ooze, I might have to bounce you out of the chat room. That might be the sickest fucking thing that this chat room has ever seen.
Well, Kendall, I see what's going on there.
What the heck? I have to delete that.
But Kendall has that the photo of that one movie I told you about, a year or two ago, where that guy's in love with that doll.
Right.
And he takes that doll everywhere and introduces her as his girlfriend.
She's got some big tits.
Yeah.
Nice.
Phil Lewis. Banging out a Barbie.
That's just wrong.
It is.
I think I got just for legal reasons, I'm dumping that. I know there's nothing technically illegal about that, but I don't really want that there.
So anyway, when you and I were both coming up, or young adults or teenagers, we wanted to drive cars. We wanted to have our first girlfriend. We wanted to, do adult things.
Right.
Well, apparently that trend has been reversed. So the question is why American teenagers are not interested in adult activities like sex, drinking, or working.
Sex, drinking, or working.
Yeah, they don't want a career. They don't want to have sex. They don't want to go out and drink. They don't want to drive. They don't want to do shit.
Okay.
Kids today are in no hurry to grow up. Teenagers are increasingly less likely to engage in adult activities like drinking alcohol, working jobs, driving, or having sex, according to research from the San Diego State University.
Right.
So they basically, they don't want to do anything that's what I consider normal.
Yeah.
They don't really care.
They don't, because they don't need to.
Right.
They don't need to drive anywhere. They don't go anywhere. They don't do anything. They fucking play video games.
They do. And that's interesting you brought that up. So with smaller families, longer life expectancy, and after-school educational activities today, 18-year-olds are looking like 15-year-olds once did.
Right.
Let's see. What's this girl's name? Jean Twenge, Twenge, professor of psychology at the San Diego State University, says she calls it a slow life strategy where parents have fewer children but nurture them more carefully.
Okay.
The number of teenagers who tried alcohol between 2010 and 2016 dropped to 67%, down from 93% between 1976 and 1979.
Wow.
And the number that had earned money for working dropped from 76% down to 55% over the same period.
But that's in the 70s?
Well, from 2010 to 2016.
Okay.
As opposed to the numbers of 76 to 79.
Okay. So, 30% drop from the heyday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have talked about how you were mowing lawns at the church.
Yeah.
Or selling weed. Or working, unloading trucks at the Brown Derby.
Mm-hmm.
And all these other stuff. Well, these kids have no interest in doing any of that.
No, not at all.
Teens who engage in sexual activity by the end of high school dropped 12% between 1994 and 2016.
Yeah. I have a theory on that, by the way.
Okay.
You know how now everybody gets divorced?
Yeah.
I think that the kids this age see what a fucking hassle it is to be in a relationship, and they just don't want it. It's not worth the hassle to get pussy or to get a dick if you're a chick, I guess, or like it's a fag dude. But it's not worth the hassle for them. They see what it leads to, which is just fucking despair.
Now, I think you're putting a lot of thought into this. I'm thinking that they just don't have any desire for any of that.
Everybody likes the feeling of coming. I mean, let's just be real. These kids are jerking their dicks here and there.
Yeah, but the thing is how about what about the driving, or what about the go out and party, and what about
that stuff? Different. But I'm saying the actual sex thing, I think, has a lot to do with seeing fucking.
Well, maybe, but how about earning a living and having money in your pocket?
Well, you know what? Our generation, my age people, they're used to they all spoil their fucking kids.
Yeah, so they just hand it to them.
Yeah, dude, I can't tell you how many of my kids' friends, when they were growing up, just had everything fucking handed to them.
Right.
Everything. And I had to be the mean dad that didn't hand them everything.
Yeah.
I was like, go do some chores. Go fucking wash some dishes. Go vacuum. Go cut the grass. Go earn if you want stuff.
Right.
You want the new games? Cool. Go cut the fucking grass.
Sure.
That was me. I raised mine, with that ethic. And now, conveniently, all three of mine have been actively working since they were 17, 18 years old.
Sure.
And at least two of them had high school jobs, working at Subway or at Subway. Both of them worked at the local Subway up the street when they were 15, 16, whatever. So, it has a lot to do with our generation.
Yeah.
We spoiled these fucking kids to where they're just fucking slugs. They are, man. I mean, overwhelmingly, this generation is just a generation of fucking slugs.
Yeah.
It's tragic, but it's not. You can't blame them. And that's that. I mean, I guess you can sort of. I mean, any dumbbell can look around and see that productive people actually do things, and you would hope that they want to be productive, but it's our fault, our generation's fault, for not raising them that
True.
way.
I agree.
For coddling them so fucking much. Anyway, go ahead.
The declines in adult activities were consistent across demographic groups, including gender, race, socioeconomic status, region, and in both urban and rural areas, suggested a major shift is taking place. The researchers examined how often teenagers engage in activities that adults do that children don't, including dating, going out with parents, and driving. They analyzed seven large surveys of 8.3 million 13 to 19-year-olds between 1976 and 2016. The surveys were nationally representative, reflecting the population of U.S. teens in terms of gender, race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, and geographic region. While smaller family sizes and changing economic factors such as unemployment rate and median household income are among the causes, Twinage also point out that the rise of technology is a factor. In her article, Have Smartphones Destroyed a Generation? Twinage explores these questions further, pointing out that millennials are on the brink of mental health crisis brought on by the explosive increase in the time spent online.
Yeah. I don't disagree with any of that.
The smartphone and social media has caused an earthquake of magnitude that we have not seen in a very long time, she wrote. There are compelling evidence that the devices were placed in young people's hands are having profound effect on their lives and making them seriously unhappy.
Right.
However, others say that not all of these effects can be traced to the sudden ubiquity of smart devices. More research needs to be done on social media use to determine whether its impact is positive or negative.
Sure.
You cannot simply observe two large cultural shifts and then decide that since they happened at roughly the same time, that one is causing the other, she said. The upside to teens growing up more slowly, the rate of teen pregnancy has fallen dramatically. Well, I guess if you're not having sex, there's
nobody's fucking. There won't be any pregnancies.
According to the Center for Disease Control, birth rates fell 9% for girls age 15 to 17-year-old in 2015 and 7% for women age 18 to 19 years during that same period. Still, the U.S. teen pregnancy rate is substantially higher than in other Western industrialized nations, and race and ethnic and geographical disparities in teen birth rates persists. Many high school students are turning to summer classes and community service to pad college applications instead of taking on summer jobs. And it's not always for lack of trying. Some employers want more highly skilled workers given the rise in the minimum wage in many states. The most recent study does not pass judgment on whether the delayed adulthood is a good or bad idea. Adulting is now a verb, which we talked about before.
Right.
About, being a life coach or whatever you want to call it to teach these kids adult skills.
Right.
Teens are safer and don't grow up before they're ready, but the downside is they may go to college or their first job without much experience with independence. Economically, that means they are dependent on their parents for longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't argue with one word you read.
Yeah, I think that I really do believe that somewhere down the road here in the near future, you and I are going to get into a venture where we do adulting classes like over Skype or something.
It's fine with me.
Wouldn't
be hard to set up. I mean, I guess you don't have to have any kind of degree to just talk to people.
No, not at all. They have these life coach, classes and things.
Sure.
To kind of give you, some kind of a diploma or certificate or something.
Right.
But apparently people who do this kind of thing, they can make some pretty good money.
Yeah. Okay, kid, here's your assignment this week.
Yeah.
Go to a bar and grab some titties.
Right.
Come back and report on it.
Sure. Too good.
Yep.